took this fight in Gaza or his operations throughout the Middle East, when did he take it too far?
No, I think the president's observation basically is that because of the length of this war and how it's gone, we've all seen the international narrative. We've all seen it, whether we agree with it or not. We have seen countries like the UK, Australia, Canada, and others come out and sort of signal support for or announce support for a Palestinian state. We have seen, even in our own domestic politics, some of the attacks on Israel. We don't forget what happened on October 7th. That's the other thing the president repeatedly points to is remember October 7th. But whether we agree with it or not, we have seen the impact that this has had on Israel's global standing. And I think that's the point the president is making here, is that whether you believe it was justified or not, right or not, that you cannot ignore the impact that this has had on Israel's global standing. That said, if we never want to see this happen again, meaning a war like this, you can never have another October 7th or anything like it ever happen again. And that's the thing the president has reiterated and repeatedly made clear to our partners in the region, and that is, if you truly want peace and stability and a better future for the Palestinian people, then there has to be a Gaza that is not governed or controlled in any way, shape, or form by Hamas or anything that looks like Hamas.
Does the United States support a Palestinian state? Because point 19 in your White House plan talks about a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood.
Well, again, we've always said, I mean, this has been a consistent position throughout, that the only way you're ever going to have anything that looks like statehood is in a negotiated deal with the Israelis. We are so far from that right now.
Prime Minister Netanyahu opposes a Palestinian state and thanked President Trump for speaking against recognition of one. That's why I'm asking you to clarify.
Well, we haven't recognized the Palestinian state. The United States has not. And right now, there's no point in doing that because it's not even possible. That's not even a realistic thing right now, because who would govern that Palestinian state?
Well, it's point 19 in your plan.
Who would govern it?
I thought.
Well, but that's talking about a pathway long term and in the future.
Right.
But before you can even get there, okay, before you can even get there, you have to have someone to turn that land. Israel's made clear they have no interest in governing Gaza. They have no interest in occupying Gaza long term and being the government of Gaza. I think Israel, I can't speak for Israel, but I think Israel would tell you they would love to turn over Gaza to a Palestinian organization that isn't terroristic. They would love to do that, but that doesn't exist right now. That has to be built, and that's going to take time. You're not going to build that in 72 hours. You're not going to build that in 72 weeks. I mean, it's going to take some time to get to that point. So that's the pathway this discusses. And I think that if you look forward into the future where there is suddenly a Palestinian government-like organization that can govern territory, then there's a lot of possibilities. But that has to be negotiated and agreed to by Israel. In the end, it's very simple. There can be peace in Gaza. There can be Palestinian governance in Gaza, whether you call it statehood or something else, as long as it is not terrorists that are in charge of that territory. That's what Israel agreed to when they turned over Gaza in the first place. And then Hamas took over Gaza and turned it into a terrorist camp. And that's what's led us to the point that we are at today. So if we can get off that road and onto a different road, there are a lot of possibilities long term and in the future. But right now, we are far from that. Right now, we need to get these hostages out, and we just need technocrats that are not terrorists to be able to begin the basic reconstruction of Gaza.
That interview was taped earlier today. With the camera off, Secretary Rubio clarified that President Trump still opposes Israeli annexation of the West Bank, though there is no mention of the occupied territory in the 20-point White House peace plan. Face the Nation will be back in 1 minute. Stay with us.